right, welcome back to CKLA Chats. I am DLC Sarah Foster Yankee of 4th and 5th grade, and I'm joined by my co-host.
Ashley Giles, DLC 45, Team 3.
All right, so today we're going to be chatting about Lesson 7 in Unit 6, Contemporary Fiction, and it is all about secondary characters in Vignette 4 of The House on Mango Street.
Yes, and remember, we are providing you these live broadcasts, to help our admin, our special education teachers, skills specialists, because we know you're on the go and it's a lot to read these lessons. They are very detailed, so hopefully this is a brief synopsis that will help you get into those classrooms and be well aware of what the teacher and student should be doing.
Mhm. So let's dive in. So our text for lesson 7 is vignette 4, Our Good Day. And students are reading this vignette because it focuses on the other characters in Esperanza's community. So there's really only one component in this lesson. It's all about reading. And our cub is students will know the secondary characters introduced in vignette 4, Our Good Day. They'll understand the way Esperanza feels about and her interactions with the secondary characters. And they'll be able to analyze Esperanza's interaction with secondary characters, drawing on specific details in the text to explain in writing. Do you think Esperanza is more or less happy at the end of this vignette, and why? So we have 4 components inside of our reading component. We're going to start with a close reading of Our Good Day that takes place both independently and whole group for about 20 minutes. So in this section, you'll see the teacher facilitating a review of the last week's readings and also introducing this week's focus, which is learning more about Esperanza by reading about her community and those around her. The teacher's going to read the first paragraph of My Good Day and then have the students read the remainder silently. And then the teacher will facilitate a discussion on summarizing and figurative language. Basically, can you summarize the events in this vignette? And then there's a phrase, smell like a broom, and students um, answer whether that's a simile or a metaphor. Okay.
Review. Close
Mhm.
reading. Yeah.
And wow, and that's a really short. It sounds shorter than 20 minutes, like when I just said it right there. But that's all they're doing in that section. And there's a few more inferential and evaluative questions, like 3 more that the teacher will ask in that section. And then they'll move on to reviewing personal pronouns, whole group for 10 minutes. The teacher will display a personal pronouns anchor chart, which they're going to fill in as a class via a discussion. Basically, there's 3 columns and 3 rows. A personal pronoun shows the pronoun singular, pronouns plural, and the students are filling in the singular and plural versions of the pronouns. And then the students are going to reread the vignette, Our Good Day, and this time they're going to look more closely at how the author uses pronouns. As they read the vignette again, they're going to circle every personal pronoun they encounter and then complete the chart and questions on Writer's Journal 7.1. See if I have it here. Yeah, right here. They're going to complete this. And let's see, there's a check for understanding where the teacher is ensuring full participation and understanding of pronouns by conducting a poll of agree and disagree for some of the entries. It recommends drawing names randomly to ensure wider participation by all students. Okay, so from there, let me go back.
And then,
Yep, you're up.
then we go into using the same text, Our Good Day, into analyzing Esperanza. And we know that it says 35 minutes. It's partner and independent. So we'll be doing some partner work, they'll be doing some independent work. But you're going to transition, right? Because we just learned about all these pronouns. So the first close read was like, now they circled these pronouns, as Sarah just spoke of. So now you're going to transition to the students and telling them We learned about Esperanza, but now let's learn about some deepen our understanding about Esperanza by learning about other people mentioned within this vignette. So the teacher's gonna organize students into pairs. Once again, hopefully these pairs are already established, and they are going to explore Esperanza's feelings about. So they've already explored her feelings about her name, about where she lives, and now you're going to look more closely about her friends. You know, like what are her feelings towards her friends? So you should see this is like the big question here, as mentioned in the code, right? So, how does she feel about her friends? So students are going to read, read it again, and the teacher is going to direct them to activity page 7.2, and with their partner, they're going to complete, yes, this is the formative assessment. Basically, the characters that are introduced in this vignette, example, Rachel, Kathy, Lucy, right? And so these three characters are mentioned. Students are going to have to go back into that reading and decide how, or find evidence as to how Esperanza feels about those characters. And so as the students are in pairs working on this, teacher is circulating around the room, ensuring that everybody is, and supporting and quoting directly from the text. Um, how does Esperanza feel about each of those characters? And then following this activity, um, and this is not a formative assessment page on here, but students are told to find a blank page in their journal, because there's many like just blank pages in their journal that they can write. They're going to do an opinion writing, answering this prompt. It says, do you think Esperanza is more happy or less happy at the end of this vignette, and why? So this is like a separate activity, like maybe like a culminating activity, based off all their evidence they gathered about her friends or all the characters mentioned. How does she feel? How is Esperanza feeling? You know, and they need make sure that the teacher includes that it needs to have evidence from the text, to support their opinion. So they're doing opinion writing and making sure that they're citing. And this writing should last about 10 minutes.
Mhm.
Um, there is a check for understanding here, and if you're going to just do a poll, a yes or no. Um, After they write, how many students agreed that she was happier? Raise your hand, yes or no, or as a based off what they wrote in their evidence that they gathered. And then finally, to discuss and deepen their understanding more about Esperanza, they do have some discussion questions that are going to be posed and answered, evaluative and inferential only, no literal. So students are really deepening their understanding and making inferences to answer these evaluative, like what made Esperanza happier. So if they did the poll that she is happier, well, how do you know? What made that? Go back and show me in the text. Um, and basically that'll conclude this lesson. At the end of this lesson, it states that the teacher needs to go back, following class, and look at their writer's journal pages 1.1, I'm sorry, 7.1 and 7.2, and look at those opinion statements that they wrote on that blank page in their journal. And this is where the teacher can give feedback and see where the support is needed for her students. That'll conclude
Mhm.
lesson 7.
All right. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next video.
Thank you.